This episode of The Totally Rad Show is brought to you by Gamefly. Check out gamefly.com/TTRS for a free trial account. Coming up today, we check in to see what else is happening on our radar this week.
All right, everybody, we are back for On My Radar. This is a little segment that we like to do every once in a while where we basically get to check in to talk about something that we all have been sort of on our radar over the last couple weeks, but that may not fit into the fool's lovely structure, the exoskeleton that is the show. Yeah, so it gives us a chance. We should get exoskeletons for the show so we can punch people and not have to worry about it. So anyway, Daniel. Is sickness a little bit on your radar?
Sickness is definitely on my radar. But
that sounded like the fakest laugh, but it was actually genuine. And I just want to say, that is funny. You are laughing, make me.
So go ahead. This week I checked out at a Blu-ray I had packaged and hadn't opened for Dead Calm.
Look at that.
Dead Calm. Wonderful 80s movie. It was cheap on Blu-ray, and I was like, I love that movie, I'm going to pick it up. So I revisited it. It had been a few years since I'd seen it last, and that is a freaking badass movie. Have you guys seen Dead Calm?
Now, is this the one that's with, oh God, what's his name, was in Harry Potter and is now directing?
Sam Neill.
Oh, no. No, you're thinking, I'm thinking of Dead...
Again.
Again? Or
no.
Dead Wrong?
You're thinking of the one with Kenneth Branagh and
Emma Thompson.
No.
But that's not that.
No, Dead Calm is Sam Neill and Nicole Kidman are on a boat in the middle of the ocean.
I'm on a boat!
They have some rough backstory.
Okay.
And they're a husband and wife that are trying to connect again over the loss of their child. And suddenly, there's a boat off in the distance that looks like it's in trouble.
Yeah.
And Billy Zane.
It is Billy Zane. Yeah, I have seen this.
And impossibly young Billy Zane and impossibly young Nicole Kidman, by the way.
Yeah.
And they are. So he makes his way over to the boat. He says something terrible happened on his boat. He's sick. He doesn't know what to do. And he
was actually on the Titanic earlier.
Yeah.
It becomes this taut, tense thriller that, because it's set on the ocean, there's nothing dated. I mean, the beginning is a little dated.
Yeah. But it's not like you look at that and you're like, oh, that's so 80s nautical equipment.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's like it lives up to say it's a modern Hitchcockian thriller. It could have come out last week.
Yeah.
It's directed by Philip Noyce, who went on to he did Salt recently, which I still haven't seen.
Dude, it was Noyce.
He did. He did the Patriot Games.
Actually, Salt was actually not bad. I saw it on an airplane. It was pretty good, yeah.
He did Patriot Games. What did he do right after Dead Calm? Not right after, but The Saint.
Oh yeah,
big movie back in the day.
I like The Saint.
We don't even talk about The Saint anymore.
I like
It
The Saint.
was supposed to be a franchise.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Me too, and I thought it was successful.
It wasn't that good. It wasn't good.
I'd love to revisit The Saint.
Good.
Anyway, dude, Dead Calm is a winner chicken dinner.
Awesome.
So revisit that
if you like chicken dinners, this is a great winner.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Kanata.
I'm excited because I'm going to talk about a board game. As you guys know, I have become a huge board game fanatic. We've started covering board games on this show. This game, difficult for us to cover on the show because it's so intense. A lot of people consider it to be the best board game of 2010, and I think I might put myself into that category. It's a game called Dominant Species. It's from GMT Games and designer Chad Jensen, and this is an intense game. I've played it 3 times now. I played it twice with 3 people and once with 4 people. And every time I played it, it's been about 3.5 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's
serious.
It's a serious afternoon of fun. And the idea is that you and everybody else picks a different species, like arachnids and lizard, and all the way up the food chain to mammals.
Okay.
And the food chain actually is very important because it determines a lot of things. And then you are on an Earth that is being taken over by the Ice Age, and you're trying to survive.
I like that.
And how do you survive? Well, you survive by adapting to your environment, by figuring out new ways to eat new kinds of foods, and you adapt your environment by attacking other animals and killing them off. And
is it like a Risk kind of layout?
It's amazing because it is very much like a war game.
Right.
It's an area control game, which is what they call it, mixed with a worker placement game. So you're placing pawns on the board to queue up certain actions, and by me taking an action, that means you can't take that action, which is the worker placement mechanic. But you're also controlling areas of the board, and one of the actions that you get to take is actually controlling the glaciation of the Ice Age.
So you can be like, it's coming to you, ha!
Exactly.
Interesting.
And the thing that's so remarkable about this game is as you're moving all your people around the board, and
or lizards.
Right, people is actually wrong. Your species around the board, and filling these hexes of tiles that are of different kinds of environment and then get taken over by glaciers. As you move them around, you are controlling those areas and gaining dominance, and your dominance is based on how much food you can eat on that tile.
Interesting.
And then the glaciation happens and everybody's sort of scattering away. It ends up being a remarkable visual representation of what it might actually be like on the planet as that's happening.
Ice Age.
So
Interesting.
the theme of the game is married so well to the mechanics of the game that you actually can see how this might actually all be a story. Plus, it's a really awesome, like, attack your neighbor. It forces you to be very active and have lots of confrontation. We talk about like solitaire, you know, kind of play solitaire. This game, you can't be like that. You're constantly working.
Interesting.
Spectacular game. I highly recommend it.
What's it called again?
Dominant Species.
Dominant Species. Interesting. I'm going to kind of go in a totally different direction. I am going to talk about a rekindling of my love for cooking. That has started to happen. And it actually started to happen because we bought a new oven. Our oven broke. We'd had it for many years. Broke, and it has been broken for about 2 years. The sort of stovetops worked, so it was like, man, what are we gonna bake? You know what I mean? Dude, I told you actually both of you guys about it. The first thing, this has a built-in temperature gauge. So it has a meat thermometer basically built into the thing. So you can put a roast. The first thing I did was I bought this giant roast, put it in the oven, and I was like, and I stabbed it with the meat thermometer. I was like, and I was like, saw that 145 was medium for steak, and so I was like, 145, and I just let it do its thing, and then the oven stopped. Most amazing roast beef I've ever had in my. I mean, it was like beyond. Actually, you guys had a little bit of it. It was like.
They saw it on the.
Yeah, on one of the shows, but it was amazing. Not only that, I then tried to make my own baby back ribs from scratch, which is like a little intimidating.
You killed the cow, a pig.
Yep, pig. It slaughtered the pig, got it all ready to go, threw the rest of it away, just didn't want to waste anything.
That's good.
No, I went and bought like the raw baby back ribs, and I did a whole like dry rub, put them in the oven, and I steamed them for 4.5 hours. And then I took them out, covered them in barbecue sauce, threw them on the grill.
You're kind of torturing me right now.
Dude.
Because I haven't tasted this.
Cecil's, nothing.
What?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
What?
Swear to God, these are the best baby back ribs I had ever had. It was like, I mean, this is gonna sound really bad, but it was like discovering that I could give myself blowjobs. I literally was like, I never had to go to a restaurant for ribs again. I can do it. Amazing. I mean, it was the most epiphany moment of my life. I mean, I pulled that first rib out and it came out completely clean, and I was like, I have done something. I have discovered something that no man should ever know.
And in both situations, you got a boner.
I did. Amazing.
God. It's fun that you're experimenting.
We just did. Like, we got a walk, and we just did a whole chicken
with self.
Yeah, don't
satisfaction.
Yeah.
No, but it's cool that you're not just like, I just made this recipe. Like,
no.
You're like, I like how you always concoct things.
Dude, we did a chicken stir fry, and I was like, I've never done a chicken stir fry. We bought a wok. I just did a little sesame oil, threw chicken in there, and then just threw veggies and started putting stuff on it, and it was amazing. So I have totally rekindled my love for cooking, which I'm very, very excited about, and I'm going to be making ribs for everybody.
You better be.
Dr. Hassenpfeffer would be proud.
Yeah, he would. He would be proud. The control chicken in me is back. Yes. Anyway, well, that is what has been on our radar the last couple weeks. We will see you later. All right, everybody, remember to stick around for This Day in Rad History. But first, sponsors.
You know, I love playing video games.
I've
I
heard
think
that.
we
I
all
have heard
do.
that.
It's very expensive. And wouldn't it be wonderful if you could just flutter around and land on every single video game that you've ever wanted to play?
You mean like Kid
a petal
Icarus?
on a flower.
Like some sort
Like
of,
a petal on a flower.
I don't know, Gamefly.
Oh!
Well, now you can because
Wow.
Gamefly.com allows you to have a
Amazing.
subscription to video games. You pay a low monthly fee, and then you get access to thousands and thousands of video games.
Over 7,000 titles,
They
including new and classic.
Indeed.
And
They
handheld.
send them to you, you make a list, they send you the next one, you play it for as long as you want. There's no late fees, no due dates.
What if I like it? What if I'm like, this is the best game I've ever played, I wish I owned it?
Well, guess what?
What?
You pay a reduced fee.
Shut your face.
I will not.
Dude.
They send you the manual, the packaging.
The Batman well?
It is all
Amazing.
wonderful. And you can find out more. You can get a free trial by going
Crazy.
to gamefly.com and using the promo code TRS. Is that correct, Michael?
No, go to TTRS. /TTRS.
It's all
It's all on the lower
craziness.
thirds.
Gamefly.com/TTRS. You get a free trial. It's an excellent thing you should check out, and it lets them know that you watch our show, which we really appreciate.
Yes, and you should also check out tomorrow's show.
On tomorrow's TRS, we jump into the new MMO, Rift.
Today is April 20th, and on this day in rad history in 1977, one of my favorite films of all time premiered. Annie Hall, Woody Allen's Academy Award nominated, brilliant Annie Hall. I have three favorite movies of all time: Annie Hall, Star Wars, and My Dinner with Andre. And I think it completely holds up. It is a brilliant analysis of a male-female relationship.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh my lord.
Alex, you gotta watch it. It's so good.
It's funny that
got it on DVD.
I talked about Scream being one of the first meta movies. Certainly is for our generation, but really Annie Hall did that way long ago.
Oh,
1977. So.
Has one of the best shots ever in a movie. That shot where he and the guy are talking at Central Park and they're walking, and they're so far in the distance. You hear him, and then they come up, they meet the camera, and then the camera starts tracking them. It's like,
There's a shot similar to that in Roger Dodger that is all one long take, and it's used to a similar effect in New York City. There you go.
Amazing. Thank you,
thank you.
Jack McKay.
Jack McKay.